Welcome to the program. We're starting the bulletin on a rather sad note as one person has been found dead in the boat accident that occurred Thursday morning at Zizenya in the Ada East district of the Greater Accra region. 3 more people are still missing. Joseph Armstrong Gold is at the Ada East district and he's joining us for some updates on this very unfortunate and sad development. Armstrong, good afternoon to you. What is the atmosphere in the community like? Armstrong, if you can hear me, I'd like for you to unmute your microphone so I could hear you clearly. We're trying to connect with Armstrong Gold Alogbe, who is in the Ada East district, bringing us updates on the unfortunate development there as one person has been found dead in the boat accident that occurred on Thursday morning at Zizenya in the Ada East district, Accra region. I'm sure.
Praise me, I can hear you.
Great. Talk to us about the atmosphere of the community. How are residents feeling under this very terrible circumstances?
So, Crosby, it appears that not much is happening here because of the accident that took place here yesterday. Is something that is like the residents here, they've seen it too many times, so it's no news to them, especially when the people who are involved are fisher folk. We are told in this accident, it's not anything new to them because anytime the tide is high, they see these boats capsizing all the time, killing people, just that it doesn't get into the media domain for us to talk about it. Mostly they say it's when it's a government official or it's a student or peoples that are moving from one side to the other community. That's people tend to make a lot of news, but for fisher folk getting drowned or boat capsizing in the sea, it's no news to them. As I'm here right now, not anybody here, I can only see some 2 people who are trying to catch some fish in the estuary. But earlier we are told NADMO and the Navy were here and they are currently on the Volta River trying to rescue 3 more people that have gone missing since yesterday, Crosby.
You spoke about the numbers, but bring us more updates and details of the number situation in the incident. We understand 7 people were missing. Does that mean rescuers will be coming back to the place to look for the remaining persons?
Crosby, yes. So the rescue mission currently is ongoing, and that told the Navy, some fisher folk are currently patrolling the Volta River to see if they can get the other 3 people that have gone missing. The one who has been confirmed dead so far, we are told the body was seen around a place called Gume, the Volta region thereabouts. So they've currently moved from here to bring the body to the Azenda community where they come from. But as it stands right now, you don't see anybody here because the rescue mission or the rescue team currently are on the Volta River trying to rescue the rest of the 3 that have gone missing. Crosby.
Armstrong, thank you so much. We'll get back to you for some more updates when we have them. Armstrong Gold Alogbe brought us update on the unfortunate Ada boat disaster there. From one disaster to another, and the Shama District Security Council, together with the Minerals Commission, they have discovered quantities of ammonium nitrate and some explosives in the trenches of the Anto Aboso Quarry Enclave. Now, this brings into question the safety of both workers and communities in the district.
According to the Minerals Commission, the ammonium substance and other explosives can only be kept by companies with permits in a designated area. Francis Hannibal Jr. is the Assistant Manager at the Minerals Commission.
We had an information that there's AN in one of the communities, so we suspended our meeting and then we moved. We couldn't identify the particular area, so we asked the police to hang around to gather information. This done, we had information that there is evidence somewhere. So quickly, together with DISEC, we moved in. As we speak now, we can't tell which quarry company owns those AN. We have to trace where these things are coming from.
The Shama District Chief Executive Ebenezer Dadzi told journalists at the site that intelligence led to the discovery The district chief executive officer charged communities to play their civic role by reporting suspicious activities by operators in the area to the city.
If they have information of whoever is hiding something, whoever is hiding explosives around the quarry site, they should volunteer information to us so that we also act on it quickly in order for them to be safe. Their life is very important to us.
There was an explosion Saturday night at the quarry site which claimed 5 lives and injured others. The Environmental Protection Agency, in collaboration with the police, has mounted a search for the co-owner of the quarry that exploded in Shamar last Saturday. The other owner, said to be a Chinese national who was reportedly at the site at the time of the incident, is said to have died in the explosion. 4 others also died in the blast. EPA, in the wake of the disaster, removed the Western Regional Director, Dr. Diewo, is to report to the head office for reassignment, while the Central Regional Director, Shine Fiagome, takes over from him.
So the entire week has been dominated by issues coming from the Anto Boso quarry explosion. And let's remind you of the timelines and how the incidents unfolded when they happened on Saturday. So we know that the blast occurred on Saturday night and September 9 was the date. 5 persons died, several others were injured. Now, on the back of that, as investigations began into the incident, the Ghanaian owner of the quarry site cannot be traced. Subsequently, a 9-member committee by the Western Regional Security Council was inaugurated by the Western Regional Minister to investigate the findings and bring to book the perpetrators, as well as make recommendations on the way forward. Also happening as a result of the Anto Boso quarry explosion was, if you like, a shake-up from the Environmental Protection Agency that resulted in the Western Regional EPA Director, Dr. George Diewo, removed from the Western region, also for reassignment to come here in the capital for reassignment. The EPA also subsequently put together another team to investigate the happenings in Anto Boso quarry to inform policy decisions and to correct all the wrongs. Well, back here in the capital to some news in politics, and the Dom Kwabena Member of Parliament, Sarah Joasaph, has apologized to the party for causing controversies during her extended absence from parliamentary duties. In a Facebook video, the legislator said her actions were unjustified and expressed regret in the video. The news team has been engaging some constituents on the matter.
Because it's getting closer to the election year, so I think it's one of those things of politicians. I don't think it's going to change anything if she's bringing that apology up.
We will vote for her if she decides to contest again. We have accepted her apology.
We have forgiven her, but we don't need her again. It's enough.
She's not carried herself well. She must be used as an example for all politicians.
Me, I don't accept his apology. I just have to step out. What did be a year for Asemoko? That's all.
Staying away from your job, there is no excuse for that. You cannot just leave your work and go somewhere and come back to say sorry.
If she wants us to vote for her, it's because elections are approaching. She is making mockery of us.
There's no any forgiveness. There's an election coming, and she wants to beg so that she can get a chance to do whatever she wanted to do. She's not genuine.
Well, clearly, the Dom Kwabena constituency, a huge constituency for the NPP and for the entire country's election. Let's speak with Musa Dankwa, who is the Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, for some perspectives of the dynamics in the Dom Kwabena constituency and whether or not the apology from the legislator will make any inroads for her in the constituency. Mr. Dankwa, thank you so much for joining us. The Dom Kwabenya constituency is in question again. You've done some work in the constituency. The MP, Adwoa Safo, has apologized. Now, will it do much to make inroads for her in a bid to return to Parliament in the next session?
Her fortunes, I don't think so. I believe that she has probably lost the seat sometime last year. And in the MPP primaries, we're expected to lose the MPP primaries if she runs again. But the question is whether the MPP itself can win the seat without Adwoa Safo. And that is the biggest headache, because she has a very formidable followers in the constituency, and in particular, around Taifa North and Taifa South. And if MPP cannot win Taifa North and Taifa South, they can't win Dom Kwabenya.
So if Adwoa Safo's chances of winning the primaries is that, if her chances are that slim, what happens, or what measures could she galvanize or put in place in her corner to push her bid in the face of the apology that she has issued, bearing in mind that some constituents, they are divided, some are accepting, others are rejecting the apology?
No, her biggest hurdle is to clear the executives, the polling station executives who are going to vote. And last time, remember, she only won by about 8 votes. Even before then, she hadn't shown this level of impunity to the constituents. So we expect that if the votes are held today in the constituency among MPP delegates, she will lose. I think she knows that. I was quite surprised when I heard she was going to run again, because I thought she should have known that the grant wasn't good for her. But hey, these are the politics that we have today. She's going to run if she says so, and it's unlikely she will win.
Some put it as though Adwoa Safo was at war with the NPP, the leaders of the party, including the president, the vice president, and the chief of staff. Names she mentioned in the video to apologize to. If these names intervene on her behalf, couldn't that make a change in the primaries in the constituency in her favor?
No, if they twist arms in the constituency to get people to vote for her, she will go along to lose the election, because MPP is already divided in the constituency. And whether she wins the primary or not, the seat has become vulnerable because of the division that we have seen in the Dom Kwabenya. So she could win the primaries if, as we can see, money can do. But then beyond the primary, what happens? And that's the dollar question that needs to be asked and answered.
Mr. Dankwa, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Mr. Dankwa is the Executive Director of Global Info Analytics. They're telling us about the situation in the Dom Kwabenya constituency. Still on matters relating to election, we'll be talking about the lawyers for the people who are suing the Electoral Commission. But in the meantime, the Deputy Minister of Education says issues about dilapidated classrooms have overshadowed the remarkable gains made in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. Reverend John Tim Fojo, who was responding to a lack of sponsorship for the 7th cohort of the 2023 First Global Robotics Challenge in Singapore, explained the creation of STEM League will bring all actors together to resolve such challenges.
The 7th cohort of the First Global Robotics Challenge are at Motor School, who will be representing Ghana and Singapore in October.
We've been training for 5 months now. And so in case you don't get funds to go, we feel very, very sad, because we want to show the world what we are capable of doing.
The Education Ministry says it is streamlining its activities to address such challenges.
Now the minister has directed that we create a platform that is called STEM League. So under this platform, all these players and key actors in the STEM space will get in. All these will become a broad umbrella that will accept all these innovations and various competitions that are taking place in our schools, and to be able to harmonize them so that we can get something concrete out of it. Because when it is done in silos, it's even difficult to monitor.
Deputy Education Minister speaking about the dilapidated situations there. Now, the West African scientists are advocating for climate change mainstreaming in university curricula to increase awareness of its causes and potential threats. The impact of climate change on Ghana's environment and livelihoods is reportedly worsening.
Cities across West Africa are among the smallest contributors to global greenhouse gas emission, but feel the impact of the climate crisis heavily. Rising global temperatures are already driving weather extremes in Ghana.
The issue of climate change is said that it's not the one creating the problem who feels the impact. And therefore, most often, people think, I cannot be bothered. And we have to do more.
Drought and flood are destroying, especially the crops and harvest of farmers. This affects food production.
Productivity is lower and lower, and the yield of maize, of cassava, for this and this, we didn't get as much as in the past. So that is the way they can really get a climate issue.
Interventions to mitigate the effect of climate change have not yielded much result. This is largely dependent on ignorance of the cause of climate change and how to reduce its impact. The West African Science Service Center on Climate Change and Adapted Land Use, WASCA, is updating lecturers and researchers' knowledge on climate change issues.
It's time we mainstream climate change issues into curricula. When we interacted with lecturers in these areas, the indications are that it's not only supposed to be mainstream into the tertiary level. People are thinking that we should rather start going down up to the basic level for they also to understand.
We don't want to see any student coming in a university and finish the university without any knowledge on climate issues. It is very important in every daily activity or discussion, because we need to explain to people around us what is about the climate change, why also climate change how climate change can affect us.
This will mean a lot more people would understand the potential impact of climate change and help in mitigating its impact.
Now, lawyers for a private citizen who sued the Electoral Commission have accused the Commission of evading servers of a contempt application. Despite multiple attempts to serve the writ, the Commission has initiated limited voter registration despite several injunction applications aimed at halting the process. Nikwapo Samuado is lead counsel for the plaintiffs. Nikwapo, thank you for joining us on the program. Now, since the bailies have not been able to serve the Electoral Commission, what's the next line of action?
Development, just as I was speaking to you, I've received a call from the lawyers, and good afternoon to your wonderful listeners and viewers. I've just received a call from the EC's lawyers who indicate that the EC has instructed them to receive the service of the contempt application. So we are waiting for the service to be effected. Once it's effected, then it means that they are on notice that the contempt application is pending. And so we would definitely expect them to hold off the limited registration exercise pending the determination of that matter. So, well, until the lawyers have received the process, they have indicated to us that they have been instructed to receive the process. So we hope that within the next maybe hour or two, the process will be served. Once it is served, then we move from there. So that is the current situation.
If you're moving from there when it is served or when they are able to receive it, in the terms of law, what could be the next processes that
the onus will be on the EC to decide whether they will respect the court processes by ensuring that they stay their hand until the matters before the court are determined. And so that will be, they will have to respond. And so we'll be waiting to hear. I would expect that the EC would issue a statement after they are served.
Zosamwa, thank you so much for your time on the program. Wish you all the best. We'll get back to you for some updates on this development. In the meantime, the opposition, the National Democratic Congress in the northern region, is demanding the office of the Vice President to, as a matter of urgency, ensure that medical equipment worth $400,000 meant for hospitals in the Tamale metropolis, which have been illegally auctioned at the Tema port, are retrieved. The party made this known at a press conference in Tamale.
It is exceedingly regrettable that Chief Josimle Nas and partners' generous gesture to support these hospitals has been squandered. We call for a thorough investigation by law enforcement agencies into this medical supplies container auction case. Such recurring misconduct at the Tema Port should not be tolerated, as it may deter future donors from contributing medical supplies to underserved hospitals nationwide. Furthermore, it is a source of great disappointment to us that our fellow Northerner, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, did not utilize his authority adequately to facilitate and expedite the clearance of the container for the northern region.
Crossover on Zoom with our Northern Regional Correspondent Christopher Marco to get more on this development. Chris, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to you. First of all, give us a bit background on this matter and how the medical equipment were auctioned.
Yes, so Cosby, somewhere July 2022, last year, the office of Chief Zosumilena, who is based in the United States of America, shipped some medical equipment meant for some hospitals in the Tamale Enclave, that is the Tamale Teaching Hospital, the Tamale West Hospital, and Central Hospital. Unfortunately, when the consignment arrived at the Tama Port in September last year, they were unable to clear the consignment. So the office of the Vice President was involved in this to, as it were, use his office to issue some waivers for the clearance of these containers. So unfortunately, in June this year, the containers were allegedly auctioned to some party boys at the Tema Port, and so denying the hospitals in the region from receiving these medical supplies. This has infuriated some persons in the greater Tamale metropolis, which has become a matter of concern to them. For them, the office of the Vice President ought to have assisted in clearing these medical equipment meant for the hospitals in the Tamale Enclave. So the current situation is that the medical equipment that were meant for hospitals in the Tamale Enclave have all been auctioned to party boys.
So this is clearly coming from the NDC against the NPP. But in the middle of this is the Ghana Health Service. Has there been any official statement from the Ghana Health Service or the donor or even the office of the Vice President on this matter?
Okay, so the donor has issued a statement registering her displeasure over the incident as against the issue of visiting the Vice President's office on 3 consecutive occasions and appealing to the Vice President to intervene. The Ghana Health Service, the Northern Regional Directorate, have also confirmed that they had visited the office of the Vice President with some delegation to appeal to him to intervene in this matter. The office of the Vice President has also spoken on this matter, but have since denied knowledge of the consignment that the public and the donor are talking about.
Chris, thank you. Keep an eye on the story. We'll get back to you for some more update. Christopher Marco brought us updates from the northern region. Now, still in the arena of health, and Ghana is set to establish a bioequivalence center before the close of the year. Health Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu at the First Food and Drugs Authority Scientific Forum said the center would be used for trials and research.
The forum brought together investors, partners, the academic community and research institutions to share knowledge for the general advancement of food and medical product safety in Ghana. Health Minister Kweku Agyeman-Manu described the forum by the FD as timely since it was in line with the government's plans to establish a bioequivalence center.
This one is looking specifically at partnerships and collaboration to help us do our vaccine agenda. We've brought together scientists, researchers, people from academia to try and see how we can brainstorm and look at how we can facilitate vaccine manufacturing. We are looking more at development of these vaccines, different types, to see how best Ghana will own our own rights to do what it is to give us the vaccines that we need in our country.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Food and Drugs Authority, Dr. Delise Darko, said the FDA is ready to support the government's plans to make Ghana a vaccine manufacturing hub in West Africa.
So that right from research and development up until the vaccines are manufactured, where we will be monitoring the quality and safety, all the players in this, all the partners are in one room discussing how to make it sustainable. Also to ensure that we can work with these same partners to protect public health and safety. The most important part of it is that we have a vaccine lot release lab. This laboratory, which is a molecular biology laboratory, will be able to test these vaccines. And for that reason, once this lab is established, we will be ready so that when the local manufacturers manufacture the vaccine, we can test them and release them onto the market in our laboratory.
The theme for the scientific forum was protecting public health and safety through partnerships.
Away from that, water discharge commences at Akosombo Dam to regulate reservoir levels. In a critical development, the Akosombo Dam has initiated water release operations to manage the water levels in the reservoir. Godwin Asidba, who is currently in the community, brings us more in this report.
The Volta River Authority, VRA, has begun a controlled spillage from the Akosombo and Pon dams today, September 15, 2023, due to the high rise of their reservoirs. According to the VRA, in a statement released on September 12, 2023, the elevation of the Akosombo Dam had risen and is expected to reach the maximum operational level if the rate of inflow continues. At the moment, just as you can see, 3 spillways have been opened slightly to ensure the flow of water from the reservoir. I've also been told some of the communities that may be affected are Abomi, New Senchi, Old Senchi, Atimpoku, Brejase, Mangwase, and all other areas closer to the rivers. Meanwhile, authorities have assured the residents that they will continue to monitor and review the inflow situation. Again, residents have been informed to monitor all media channels to be abreast of the daily notification that the VRA will serve the public on the spillage exercise. The last time the Akosombo Dam was spilled was on November 1, 2010. Well, we have been speaking to the Akosombo Hene, Nana Boafo, and Supreme the Fourth, and take a listen to what he has been saying.
Today is the day that VRA has announced that they are going to spill some of the excess water they have in their intake, because it's been raining and there's a lot of water behind the dam, which if you don't spill, it will have a very big negative effect on the operations of the dam. Okay. So today they announced 10 a.m. and they're going to start the spillage. Fortunately, as we can see now, it started on time. We have opened 2 of the spillage channels on the gradual state loading full, so that the effect will not be that at once. We want to do a gradual way of spillage. So that is what is happening this morning at Akosombo and the Akosombo Dam.
Absolutely. So how is this going to be of an effect to the residents here?
Yes, the residents, if we don't educate them on the floods that will come if it is so much, it will be very high. But fortunately, VRA and the communities have done a lot of education to the people. Even this morning, we had to go around to check some of the people who have started work, and we have educated them to pull off their boats and nets so that the current will not take their nets and boats away. So they've complied.
So when was the last time the spillage happened here?
I think that the last time was 2010. So this is about 13 years ago.
How did the impact look like?
You know, the downstream, I can't talk too much about the far away from Akosombo and its environs. But for the Akosombo and its environs, because of the number of education that VRA and the people, we the chiefs and the community people do have with the people living along the river, they know that if they hear of a spillage, they should stay away. And they shouldn't go into the river to do their fishing activity. So they comply. So we didn't have any casualty 10 years ago within those barrels.
Okay.
The only good thing is sometimes when they spill, there's a lot of fish coming from the upstream. So if you don't control your people, they rush to go and pick the fish and something might happen. So we educate them that wait, let the river go down. Then you can do whatever you want to do. So that is what.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Godwin Asidiba, thank you so much for that. Godwin Asidiba brought us update on the Akosombo Dam regulating its water levels in its reservoir. You're watching Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosby-Ano. Going for a break. We're back with more stories. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period no say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na mkwan point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me enu foforo kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama no nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me do so sema na enkoyie empeso na my emre nyina na magina sebema na me no be fie for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Theater this Friday.
Bill now would buy 500 minya.
And I say any day.
Me ankasa no me nya nkoko. Eti no ene akoko no ukọ market abako 15 but it's a problem na aba nti no me pese aka memfa ba akoma mo 100 cedis.
Me pacho e wo mo supply nyama wa ha sei.
Manager. Mesila wedi abua me wadaroma.
So me tua 500 ne ma wa me susu amatu o me wiase nyina no me de je nkoko. Akoko ba ku bia meto no 1 cedi. Tu be bra me nkoko 500.
Akoko ba ku bia beto ni sen
1 cedi. Anti wudi nkoko 500 ne ba. Na di ko sua 100 liter abedamase.
Method malaria game changer no.
Top Coat, Udim Pepe.
Efiera, this and every Friday at 8:30 p.m. on TV3.
The battle is still on, bragging rights still very strong. Who carries the day this week for Group H? Is it going to be Anyako SHS?
We are the Hoholians, and we are not just here to cook.
Wesley Girls?
We are not just brainy beauties, we are masters in the kitchen as well.
Ola Girls?
We won't like to talk much, we like to show actions.
Or Christian Methodist?
We'll let our fingers do the talking, and your tasting will do the judging.
Yeah, can't you say, oh, because they're for saying, and then let's see, yeah. You're seeing, I won't say, you're
27, 26, 25, hey, 24, 23. All the action is right here on TV3, Sunday, 5 p.m. with me, Kukiti. It is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye ono soko.
PGL.
As Ghana
had Kwame Nkrumah. Kenya also had leaders like Jomo Kenyatta who became symbols of hope in our fight for independence.
Navigating the complexities of adulthood as a young woman can be challenging. Balancing various life issues can feel overwhelming. This week on Ghana's Most Beautiful, contestants will shed light on the unique challenges women face and work together to explore solutions. Join us for an emotional experience with the contestants this Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. To ensure your favorite contestant advances in the competition, vote by dialing *713*13# or by downloading the TV3 reality app. GMB 23, Ghana's beauty, Africa's pride.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Camon 20 series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soap, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk, Deluxe Acrylic Paint, Nescofa Blood Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods, Freedom from Casapreco,
Frutelli Calipo,
Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubuna Womwankasa, Dragnet, Shalatem, Top Choco.
Save 500.
Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Let's get some business news with Menua Fumano. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Cosby. Welcome again to the business segment. My name is Menua Fu. We'll start off with management of Tema Oil Refinery TOR, which has been urged to go into third-party storage services to raise funds to meet its debt obligations. This, according to policy analyst at Eureka Energy Solutions, Rasif Jawula, means TOR has to leverage its storage tanks. Currently, 20 out of 60 storage tanks at the refinery are in bad shape and idling.
Eureka Energy Solutions is encouraging the management of Tema Oil Refinery to take steps to address financial challenges facing the refinery.
These financial challenges, as you may know, have the potential to affect their operations and consequently, instigate a potential shutdown of the company. We do know that the Tema Oil Refinery owes some debt obligations to ECG, which debt obligations amount to a tune of about 11 million Ghana cedis. The refinery has faced some shutdowns in the past, all because of these debt obligations, coupled with their responsibility to cater for staff remunerations and also pay some overhead costs associated with production.
TOR needs to leverage its storage tanks as it starts towards efforts to revamping the company. Eureka Energy Solutions is calling for a strategic partnership with entities ready to do business and propel the refinery into a state of efficiency.
We cannot allow those tanks to lie idle, because lying idle means that TOR is going to be losing some amount of revenue from these 60 tanks. The checks that we have done shows that collectively these 60 tanks can contain products of up to 250,000 metric tons. And if TOR were to engage in a business, what it means is that they could be making close to $2 million from these 60 tanks on a monthly basis.
Away from that, following concerns about the long-term financial sustainability of the pension scheme in Ghana, several policy measures have been suggested, including increasing the pension age from the current 60 years. In 3 Businesses featured this week, we explored the 60-year retirement conundrum.
I don't want to die before I enjoy my pension. I want to have my pension and I enjoy my pension before I die.
These are everyday sentiments of pension contributors. But what if after all those years of contribution, the system actually fails you?
The 2014 and the 2017 actuarial valuation reports of the SNP scheme have predicted a continuous rise in pensioner population and, of course, a corresponding increase in pension expenditure. I remember the last valuation report expressed the opinion that the scheme is unable to pay benefits fully and on time by 2037. That is, the scheme is not sustainable in the long term. due to rising cost of benefits.
Concerns about the long-term solvency of the pension scheme have been raised. This has subsequently led to numerous policy suggestions like increasing the rate of SSNIT contributions. It, however, seems an extension of the retirement age from 60 years to about 65 years is currently leading in the conversations. How prudent is this proposal? The full reports coming up in our news bulletin during News 360. Do make a days with us. Also, government in the upcoming T-bills auction scheduled for September 15, 2023, that is today, is looking forward to a notable gross issuance of 3.76 billion Ghana cedis. This figure represents a substantial week-on-week increase of 44.5% as government seeks to roll over upcoming maturities valued at 3.51 billion cedis. The following 3 Business Desk reports has more.
Government is strategically seeking to roll over the upcoming maturities as part of efforts aimed at addressing its financial obligations and maintain liquidity in the market. However, amid the amplified target size, concerns have arisen regarding potential investor demand. It is speculated that the market's response may fall short of expectations given the substantial issuance volume. As a result, GCB Capital Research suggests that the yield for the 91-day T-bills could potentially escalate to reach the 28% mark. This development underscores the delicate balance that the government must navigate in its debt management strategy, particularly in a market environment marked by varying economic forces and investor sentiment. The forthcoming T-bills auction will be closely monitored as market participants assess the outcome and its implications for the broader financial landscape.
And that's it for the business segment here on Midday Live. My name is Minwa Afo. Stay with us. We have sports news coming up after the break.
When it comes to the world of sports, what does complete mean to you?
When my team scores at the end of a 30-plus passing sequence, just like Pep Guardiola style.
When someone beats the buzzer with a shot from the logo, like Steph Curry.
Dominating opponents and punching my waist to a knockout, like Africa's greatest boxer, Azuma Nelson.
Running so fast I can afford to celebrate midway through a 100-meter race and smash the world record like Usain Bolt.
Hold up, what makes all of these sports complete is the screen. This is where you get access to all the extensive highlights, analysis, and insights.
So do join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. live on QFM 92.7 as we serve you the best sports buffet and most satisfying in the sports world. The 3 sports team will come together to review, preview, and analyze the latest in the sports world here on Sports Ultras.
Our guest this week for Today's Woman has a lot of experience when it comes to childbirth and raising children. Which of your kids was the first to step into your room today?
Pabna. He was in my bed.
She's got something gorgeous to say about emotional intelligence as well.
That is the ability for you to be able to understand your feelings and also be able to read other people's feelings.
She is a renowned event planner.
Coming to an event planner is one of the best things that you can do.
Okay.
But of course I would say that because I'm an event planner.
Crystal Beko is our guest right here on Today's Woman, Saturday, 3 p.m. right here on TV3 with me, Cookie T.
Today's Woman with Cookie T shows Saturdays at 3 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Latex Foam. Vlisco.
The man says that you are my wife, but the only place I want to enter is the backside. And she's endured it because she was a woman of God. Did you go for honeymoon?
Yes, please. Through all that, no sex happened till we came back. I thought it was a joke, but later he insisted his intention of having enough sex with me.
Being in church and singing doesn't mean he's God-fearing. And I believe that guy is a gay.
The fact that a man has said, I want to have sex with you, doesn't make the man a bad person in of itself.
That is natural.
It's natural. Every man, you must
give your erection direction. Those that are so much into Christianity, they think that you have to abstain, get married before you have sex. But we always say this: if you are going to buy a car and you don't try the speed,
test drive it.
Yes.
Confessions shows on Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by
MTN.
The show is here to win. John Dumelo, Majid Michelle, Yvonne Nelson, Edinati.
Yvonne Nelson.
Edinati. The sun is shining brightly. Your nose look alike. You are not related.
Peter Never, I'm a gun.
See combination. Which musician does Nick Paco or Lariba love the most? Our do
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
We will see. ECG will off it.
Here to Win shows Saturdays at 8 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Kill It Insecticide Spray.
Gino Tomato.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Let's take some sports news with Kevin Owusu. Kevin, the Premier League is starting again?
Yeah, the Ghana Premier League begins today and starts from Tamale, where Hartlepool are guests to, that is Real Tamale United for the season.
Anyways, bring us more sports news.
Well, there'll be more on that in the Ghana Premier League, but let's get straight into the world of sports this afternoon. My name is Kelvin Owusu. So starting from the CAF Confederations Cup, where Ghana FA Cup champions Dreams FC are in the second preliminary stage of the competition. They face Sierra Leone side FC Cologne in the first leg at the Accra Sports Stadium. Assistant coach Winfred Drummond and Augustine Kumson, the goalkeeper for the team, are confident of a convincing result against their opponents.
The approach will be safe because it's football. It's a safe territorial game, 11-11. But of course, playing the first leg here, I don't think it brings any pressure. We have to make sure we manage this game very, very well. Of course, it's a pressure game, and pressure mixes. So we have to find a way, just like I said in my introduction, we have to make sure we get the desired results and make the second leg a mere formality.
March 1st, sometimes it really counts. The supporters, giving you the morale, and then other things really helps you playing home. And playing away too is one advantage to going there and getting a point and then coming home too. Whereby supporters will give you all the confidence to play home and then get your maximum 3 points. So I would say playing home first with the support and then with the encouragement of our team managers and then our co-workers. I think we can get a win here, and then definitely going there, I believe we can get something out of it.
Well, kickoff is at 4 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now, Ghana Premier League giants Asante Kotoko have confirmed goalkeeper Danlad Ibrahim as the club's new captain. The goalkeeper, who is entering his 8th season with the club, had the experience of wearing the armband during last season's campaign. However, the 2021 AFCON Under-20 winner takes over the armband on a permanent basis following the departure of former skipper Richard Boadu, who joined Libyan side Al Ahly. Cameroonian forward Georges Mfege and Richmond Lamptey will deputize for Danlad. Now to the matches of the 2023-2024 Ghana Premier League, and RTU and Hartlepool open the season for us in Tamale at 6 p.m. today. On Saturday, Great Olympics play against Bofako Tano. Legon Cities welcome Karela United, and Swatraman against Bichim. There is Samatex against Ediana, Brekum Chelsea against Gold Stars, and Asante Kotoko on Sunday at 6 p.m. welcome Heart of Lions. Dreams FC and Mediama will play on Wednesday, the 20th of September. Now to the English Premier League, and coach for Tottenham Hotspur Ange Postecoglou has been named the Premier League Manager of the Month for August. Appointed as Spurs head coach back in June, Postecoglou has enjoyed a night perfect start in the Premier League. month. Well, beginning with a 2-2 draw away at Brentford on the opening weekend, Postecoglou has since recorded 3 wins on the spin in the top flight wins over Manchester United and then Bournemouth, both 2-0 scorelines before a 5-2 victory against Burnley last time out. Maddison has won the Premier League Player of the Month award. He is a summer signing from Leicester City and has enjoyed a superb start to life in North London for the Lily Whites. Staying in the Premier League, and England defender Kyle Walker has extended his stay at Manchester City until 2026. Walker explains why he declined a move to Bayern Munich this summer after entering the final year.
It's the team. I think that in this team there's something special. Obviously just coming back off an amazing high of last season and winning the treble and finally getting the Champions League, which was the one trophy that we didn't have as a group and as collectively. I wanted to go and do it again. I wanted, the lads have got that hunger again to go and achieve something really special again this season, fingers crossed. So I wanted to be a part of it and I didn't want to miss out in that and win a Super Cup. I felt very proud of myself, but again, the vote's going to come in and the lads will determine who they want, to be their captain for the foreseeable season. And I wish whoever it is, all the success. Hopefully it's me, but we'll see what happens there.
Now let's finish off with some athletics, and World 100 meters champions Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson headline on home ground as the Diamond League final takes place in Oregon this weekend. Laura Moyer, Dina Asher-Smith and Daryl Nater are also set to compete, with Faith Kipyegon, Sharika Jackson, Jacob Ingebrigtsen and Armand Duplantis among the global stars present. The action starts at 6:18 hours GMT on Saturday and 18:30 hours GMT on Sunday in Eugene. 32 Diamond League champions, that's 1 man and 1 woman in each of the 16 disciplines, will be crowned over 2 days. This year, the final is being held as part of the Prefontaine Classic at the Hayward Field, the venue which hosted the 2022 World Championships. There, with points irrelevant in a winner-takes-all final format, the Diamond trophies will be handed out along with a $30,000 prize money. Well, that will be all for sports this afternoon here on Midday Live. Entertainment News is next.
Well, just as the weekend is here, a lot of things will be happening in the arena of entertainment. What's coming up?
So Miss Tourism, the grand finale is happening tonight. And so we have some behind the scenes of some fashion show they did.
Anyways, bring us the details, Anita.
All right. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu, and all is set for the grand finale of the 2023 Miss Tourism Ghana pageant tonight. And as part of the build-up, the delegates walked the runway to showcase stylish designs pieced together by Ghanaian fashion creatives at the 2023 Miss Tourism Fashion Show. Here are some highlights.
The 2023 Miss Tourism Fashion Show served the platform to showcase original, innovative and trendy designs created by young Ghanaian fashion creatives. Delegates of the 2023 Miss Tourism Ghana took turns to walk the runway advertising various stylish, elegant and well-fitted designs. A major highlight was the sustainable fashion round, which saw contestants catwalk in diverse designs with matching bags and accessories created out of old clothes. Delphine Brew Hammond is the CEO of Miss Tourism Ghana.
Oh, I think the girls did very well. I think the designers did well as well. A friend of mine from the States came to Ghana and he was very focused on the way all our landfills were full of second-hand clothes. So he decided that let's do clothes with second-hand and add a little bit of Ghanaian, old clothes. And it came out so beautifully that we decided that we're going to keep at that, so that you can see one of the girls had a dress with a disc, how do you call it, CD as a design. I think we need to be more creative about the way we handle our waste, and I think this is an example that will let you know that we are trying.
The Deputy Head of Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Tourism Authority, Kofi Atakakrakusi, said the Miss Tourism platform is pivotal to promoting Ghana's tourism.
Of course, the girls were able to rock what we call the Wear Ghana agenda. This is the way to go. Domestic tourism is the way to go. So we have our beauty pageants, also Miss Tourism Ghana, also using the opportunity to promote what we have as a country. In promoting what we have as a country is to pull in also the diasporans, people of African descent, tourists and visitors, for them also to come and experience what we have.
2 out of the 12 delegates were evicted, leaving 10 finalists to battle it out for the bragging rights at the Miss Tourism final. Television host and social media manager of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Ivy Prosper, was a judge for the fashion show.
I think that sustainable fashion is very important, especially in this day and age when in Ghana there's millions of clothing that is shipped here from abroad every single week. And the majority of it, almost half of it, ends up in our landfills, in the waterways. Even most recently, there was a woman who was swimming across the Lake Volta to bring attention to the fact that there's so much textile waste here. So the sustainable fashion, I thought, was a really great addition because it gives an opportunity for designers to learn how to use clothing and recyclable materials to incorporate into fashion.
The fashion show was also meant to knock delegates into shape ahead of the 2023 Miss Tourism Ghana Grand Finale slated for September 15th at the National Theatre.
Well, wishing the ladies all the best tonight, and may the best lady come out tops. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. That will be all for the Entertainment News segment. Up next is International News. Good afternoon.
Now, the Libyan Red Crescent says the death toll in Libya's coastal city of Derna has soared to 11,300 as such efforts continue following a massive flood fed by the breaching of 2 dams in heavy rains. Thousands of people are still listed as missing. The port city's mayor says that total could reach 20,000. The UN's World Meteorological Organization says most of the deaths could have been avoided if warnings were issued. Now, aid teams are battling to help survivors and locate the dead 5 days after devastating flooding hit eastern Libya. About 30,000 people have been left homeless. The International Organization for Migration says, with the UN's humanitarian agency warning of the danger of disease from contaminated water. Still in international news, the UN Special Envoy for Sudan, who was declared unwelcome by the country's military rulers, has resigned in a final speech to the UN Security Council. Volker Perthes warned that the conflict between Sudan's rival military leaders could be morphing into a full-scale civil war. Tensions between Sudan's military, led by General Abdel Fattah Burhan, and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, commanded by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, burst into open fighting in mid-April. That's how we draw the curtains on Midday Live this afternoon, but there's always more news on our website, 3news.com, if you log on for more. My name is Noble Crosby, and on behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much for watching the bulletin. It's Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Good afternoon to you. Bye-bye.